Most of us are very familiar with Jazzit fundamentals, being the working papers, letters, and financial statements. And we know that for most engagements, we connect that to the KLIB. This is what it's showing us here. This slide is a handout today. So if you want to give that out to other people who are not here today, there's a separate PDF just of this table. So Lori put this nice table together for us. So let's take a look at this. So under fundamentals, GenMast and FullMast, these master files, and any client file using fundamentals connects to the KLIB. We're going to see how that connects in just a moment. Farming engagements using FarmMast is connected to the FarmLib. Our review checklists, so the master for review is connecting to the review KLIB, and then for audit is connected to the audit KLIB, and we'll see how that connects as well. Now, we're going to talk about PACT today, but PACT does have its own resource center. So the PACT master connects to the PACT KLIB. And then finally, SCORE, its S master connects to the JZBM resource center. So let's take a look at these individually. So if we're talking about Jazzit fundamentals, how do we connect? Well, we open the financial statements from the document manager. And so typically it's 1.1 on our document manager. We click on Admin on the home menu. So there's a button on the very far right side of the home menu, Admin, and you see down here, we can double click on that field and set it to the location of the KLIB. Remember, KLIB needs to be uncompressed in order for us to use it, okay? So once we have that set, we can save the statement. The administrator normally does that in the master file, so when you copy the statement into a client, that path is already set. So only needs to be really set once, but this path then is shared to all the other fundamental working papers, letters, blank checklists. They all know where the resource center is because we have set that path right here under admin on the home menu in the financial statement. The next one here is linking the PEG audit KLIB. So for the PEG audit checklists, make sure that you're including this document, JZPCKey, okay? One of the functions of that document, and just down below here, you see this document, is to indicate the location of the PEG Audit Resource Center. So if I double click on that field, I can then link it to the uncompressed PEG Audit Resource Center. And now all the audit checklists in that engagement know where the resource center is. And when that resource center is updated, we see the newer date on the right in a particular document, and we can update that particular checklist. Linking to the PEG Review Resource Center. So it's a review engagement. I have review checklists in a file. Make sure this document, JZPCKey, is included in an engagement which has review checklists. Now, when I open that particular document, again, there's a field there for the resource center location. This should be already set by the administrator, so I shouldn't have to mess with this, but this needs to be set to, in this case, the PEG Review KLIB. Again, it has to be uncompressed. And now all the review checklists in that engagement know where the resource center is and they're able to update. So our new product, PACT, when I open up this document here, so this PT key document should be included in any engagement where we're going to be using the PACT documents. Could be letters, could be checklists, etc. And when I open up the PT key document, again, there's a field there to link us to the uncompressed PACT resource center so that in an engagement, any PACT document can be updated from that centralized PACT resource center, okay? Now, one more, SCORE. So if you are using SCORE, what you do there is in the master file, just open up this SCORE document itself. You'll click here on the document button, the document properties, this button here with the links on it, and you can just set the path to the uncompressed SCORE resource center, which is JZBM, okay? And now you're connected. And in the case of SCORE, that is the only document in that package that would be in a client file, so that's all we need to do there. Okay, how do we know if we're connected? So in any product, how do we know? So it says, regardless of which Jazzit product you're using, you can quickly confirm that you are properly linked to the related resource center by opening a document from that product. For example, a working paper, a letter, a blank checklist perhaps. If we open the document and we see a date over on the top right side where it says resource center, we're connected. So it is, the path is good, and it has found its sister document in the resource center. So there would be a document in the resource center which has exactly the same document identifier as the document I currently have open in the client file. It has found it, and in this case, it's current. We see that the dates are the same. If there would be an update available, we'd have a newer date on the right than on the left, and this would be an attention symbol. This would say update from resource center. Okay, so next question is, what if I'm not connected? What do we do? So if you see a blank field on the right, as we have in this screenshot here, it indicates that we are not connected to the related resource center. Now, there's three main reasons for this. One is the path set properly? So we just went through where the documents are and how to set the path for that particular product. So that would be one of the things I'd be looking at. Two, is the linked resource center uncompressed? Okay, so if somebody compresses it, even though the path is right, can't find the document because the resource center has been compressed. Okay, and then three, does the document identifier exist in the resource center? Now, in this particular document, there is a diagnostic just above this date here, and it says here Jazzit EL1 not found in the KLIB. So that actually is our problem. The third one is we don't have this document in the resource center. Now, how does this happen? Well, there are several ways this can happen. If I, for example, already had the Jazzit EL in a client and I just copy and paste another one in, it will increment the identifier. It would actually make a Jazzit EM, but it wouldn't be able to find it in the resource center. Or if I use the document library and bring in an engagement letter, but there is one already, again, it will increment the document's identifier. It won't be able to update because that document does not exist in the resource center, okay? That's different from copy components. When I go file copy components, it overwrites the other document if the identifier is already there. So just keep that in mind, that these are possible reasons for not being connected properly to the related resource center.